Rundown today is what? June 22nd? 3rd.
23rd, yeah.
Yeah, it's close to yesterday. Kevin looked like he just got out of bed with that hair.
Just got out of the shower.
Yeah. No ads. No ad rundown. I guess we don't do it all the time, so it's hard to sell ads when you don't know if we're going to do it. The big story, the NBA Finals Game 7, very anticlimactic because Halliburton, who came out with his head on fire, hit 3 or 4 threes. Looks like he's going to have maybe a career-defining game, and then the Achilles blows after he was already hurt a little bit, kind of like a la Kevin Durant, when Durant was like hurt, played through it, and then blew out his Achilles. I don't know, brutal way, kind of anticlimactic for everybody involved, right? Because it's like, yeah, OKC won. People are saying the start of a dynasty. I don't see that with them at all. I think the two best teams in the league both had Achilles injuries, so it like, yes, they won, but they won due to injuries, and it's sad.
I mean, that's discounting them a lot. They're the youngest team ever. They're the cheapest team ever. They're keeping that core together for as long as they want, whether they want to move somebody for pieces, whatever. They're pretty fucked. I mean,
They're good.
they're one of the most they won. They crushed the regular season. They won the. I mean,
They're good. No, I just think there's a giant asterisk. Like what are
but once again, like Jason Tatum's injury has nothing to do with them. The Knicks beat the Celtics basically. With
I
Jason.
disagree with that, but
So
this
that-
isn't
The
about the
Pacers
Celtics.
probably would have beat the Celtics anyway.
This
And-
isn't about the Celtics. I'll grant you that. I will say, when you think of this title, maybe not down the road, the first thing I will think about is Halliburton, nothing else.
That I agree with. I mean, it was the Halliburton show for sure. But when that's almost kind of the point too, is like he was the star, and they just handled that as well. I mean, yeah, and then yes, the game.
What do you
game
mean
seven-
they handled that? They didn't handle anything.
I mean, yeah, the game 7 obviously not, but if Halliburton was the star and the guy, and for 6 games they hung with him and won.
Well,
the championship.
I mean, they were
like,
minus the Thunder were minus 500. I mean, they were like a
Yeah.
gigantic favorite, and the Pacers were underdogs against everybody. And traditionally, not traditionally, that's the wrong word, but throughout the course of the playoffs, these were the games that the Pacers won, largely because of Halliburton like theatrics. And he comes out red hot, and you're like, oh my God, they're going to, at the very least, be in the game till the end. And then it's Halliburton. I don't know. We just didn't get to see it. There's no team in the NBA who wins that game with their like A+ star going down there.
Agreed. I'm just saying that to just discount everything that the Thunder did because of that and be like they're nothing.
They're a very good team, but it changes how that title will be remembered for me.
Right.
And obviously the defending champs were decimated.
No, the defending champs lost.
To the Knicks.
They lost. They lost.
They
got beat in the playoffs.
And so did the Pacers.
Correct.
Both giant asterisks in my mind.
Well, one happened,
Both
six
lost
games
their
and
best
change into the series. One happened
when the series was
down
tied.
51.
Right? Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Celtics. If that's what you guys want to
I
talk
wouldn't
about.
either if I was horrendously wrong in my argument. But
There was a brief moment in the game where it looked like maybe TJ McConnell was going to take over.
He did take over.
he's he could have been a fucking MVP.
But I thought it was going to be like this guy's going to like lead
I
them
actually
to victory.
had
I had them plus 500. I was like, let's go McConnell.
I had what I thought was a spectacular tweet during the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, I said the math is not adding up because TJ McConnell has scored every single time, but they're down. They were up going into the third quarter. Now they're down 13. How's that? It was like 2 for 3s. I don't know. McConnell scored every time, and they were getting their doors blown off.
But isn't that credit to the Thunder? Like,
well, without their best player, I don't know. Halliburton, shoots threes. Now, truth be told, they turn the ball over 1,000 times. So, if it may seem like every shot the Pacers are shooting is going in because McConnell is hitting everything, but if you're getting half the shots, that's hard to do. That's Caitlin Clark fever this weekend. She's turning the ball over, having a really bad weekend. All right. And
Wait. You see, they were so young they couldn't open up the champagne bottles.
because I didn't see that.
Which at first I thought was like lame. They said it was like the most tempered celebration they've ever seen. They
It
literally
kind of
had the house.
was.
Yeah, I mean it was like they were
Yeah,
just
it was
shaking
lame.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I'm almost
Well,
came around on it. It's almost like what I'm going to remember about them was that they're so young and inexperienced. They don't know how to open bottles. They don't know how to party. Like it almost fits their whole persona in a way. That open a bottle's a little weird though. I get you're young, but like you can open a fucking champagne bottle.
Did you see Meek Phil? Meek Phil didn't know how to do it last
Yeah,
week.
well, Meek Phil's a freak though.
Wait.
That's right. Are they all freaks?
wait, I didn't see this because I went to bed once they were down because my dogs are up at 6, so I can't 5:30, can't do it. Once the game got out of hand, I went to bed. When you say they couldn't open the bottles because they're 21, they didn't want to do it on camera, or they didn't know how to.
No, they didn't know how to. They asked Russo, like, how do you like take the foil off? And
So they were drinking. They were underage drinking, but
No, they're 21, I think, right?
Some of them are probably maybe under. I don't
Yeah,
know.
all right. So they didn't know. They just didn't know how to do it. But I will say, also, the game's a blowout. So
Yeah, it's like
But it's like it's the first OKC championship ever, and they acted like I saw Malasek posted the take. It was an interesting take. I've never seen this before, but I liked it. Act like you haven't been there before because you haven't.
yeah, I just think sometimes. I mean, the Celtics won, and they celebrate after. When you win, and remember, people criticize, and I know it's not the team, like the Boston people in the office, because like no one was. It wasn't like this ruckus celebration.
But it's because you guys
But
have
that-
1,000,
No,
and it's
but I
there
think
first.
20 of them.
Yeah, but there hadn't been a long time. I actually think the bigger is the fashion sometimes in which you win. So if it's not a close game, like when it's a close game, you have all the emotions, you explode. This thing was over for a long time.
Yeah, like once the injury, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean third quarter for
Like the
sure,
second
but
half.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like once the injury just
I thought they still had a chance at half the way they were
Yeah.
playing.
they hung with him, but it was just
I would have went crazy. I would have been like wringing Halliburton's dad's neck, like going that crazy about it.
Yeah, like that's more like remember when Max was like it was Max, right? Oh, fuck, sorry, doing work. Max was like so subdued in his celebration, and we were like, "What the
Oh
fuck?"
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like you got to live it up. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Moving on, Alex Caruso confirmed just something that I like to hear. He basically said this is his first real title. He was a part of the Lakers bubble.
How much better does this one feel?
Yeah, now I got a real one. Now nobody can say anything.
Again, a shot at LeBron's legacy at his throne, which I like to see. I have been a firm believer that the bubble doesn't count. Like
it's the hardest one.
it's the most unique fake like play-in tournament one. But if you don't play a road game, it's not a real title. If you don't have to travel, it's not a real title. So that was good to see, confirming a long-held bias of mine.
You don't think that maybe he was saying that tongue in cheek?
No, I don't. Kevin Durant traded at Fanatics Fest live. That Fanatics Fest, everybody was there.
Dude,
Everybody.
they just pay
I don't understand.
for all those people to come?
I don't.
monster names.
Well, yeah, Mike Rubin's one of the great, kiss asses to celebs of all time. It helps his business, but he knows everybody, everybody. It was basically like, hey, you want to come to my white party? You have to come to Fanatics Fest.
100%. That's what I was thinking. It's almost like if you want to be in my club, you got to do this.
Yeah.
And they have everyone doing everything. Like they had John Cena do the 3-point contest and the punching bag, and then they brought in the next. Like every athlete has to go through the game. Did you see Joe Burrow throwing the pitches? Like
Was
he
that
didn't know how to throw-
fake?
Dude,
That was
that's
insane.
That was the
I don't know.
moment I was like, why are these people even doing this? Not
That
only
had to be
they don't want
fake.
to be there,
I-
and then they're getting.
yeah.
I don't know. That looked. Why
That
would he-
looked fake. I mean, quarterbacks there's no way Joe Burrow didn't throw like 94 in high school.
I agree. I saw that. I was like, is something wrong with Joe Burrow? I don't know.
Joe Burrow, like, if you're a quarterback or a pitcher, those are like, in fact, I think some pitchers warm up with the football. Like, it's interchangeable, basically.
You would think.
No, I know Robbie Fox. I know.
You think so? He was just like, let me.
I don't know
throw,
what
like,
he was
5
doing.
straight balls all over the fucking place.
But he wasn't even throwing. He throw that. I know he can throw low 90s. I know he can. I just know he can.
They were so off too. Like, and they got closer every time, but it was just like
He was doing
like
something.
hooking 'em, like,
I don't. That was something he threw. I
the
know
Brady and Eli thing was weird.
that was like
Yo,
WWE.
when he
Well,
jumped
there
on
was,
his back, oh my god!
there was a lot of weird, cringy moments. But
Yeah.
Ruben's a weird, cringy guy.
That's
So
the-
that
that's
like
Fanatics. They love this. It's like
it kind of. And then I thought about it. I was gonna create. It's like I don't think Fanatics Fest is like for older. Well, maybe Bob Fox. He loves WWE and like the theatrics of that. But it's not geared towards me. Like I don't need to see Brady throw Gronk a fake trophy and have it like break and be like, oh my God, you broke the trophy, and everyone's laughing, and it's like super lame to me. But here I am watching every Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark's there, I'd probably I knew it, Caitlin. So
It's Comic-Con. It's Comic-Con
Yeah,
for sports.
yeah, that's exactly
and,
what
and
it
they're
is.
trying to act like it's not as nerdy as Comic-Con, but
it is.
Yeah.
And just as cringy and just as nerd. But hey, it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah,
the only
huge.
thing I don't get about Comic-Con, like, and again, I don't know if it's Ruben be like, hey, you want to come to the white party? Like, you got to come to this. To pay all these people seems like it. I guess the tickets get it out. Listen, he may be cringy, but he knows business, so it must be working for him.
there's also weren't there a couple kids who sold like cards for like 500 grand? People like
yeah.
buying, you know,
Oh, A-Rod had an all-time cringe, like,
king of cringe.
he's like, I'll buy this card for $1,000 and I'm going to give you 2 tickets to the Knicks T-Wolves game when you come to New York. Deal. It was like he was on fucking Shark
Like
Tank.
Pawn Stars?
Yeah, it was just, there was a lot of like outwardly cringy moments. But then again, if I'm like a kid or a teenager, I think this is probably cool as fuck.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. See your hero.
Now that
like,
to go back to the Durant thing, did Michael Rubin make sure that he was traded while he was on stage?
Probably Ruben controls everything. I feel like he literally has all these athletes like just sucking his dick.
yeah. Do they have like a deal with the league or anything? Or are they just like an independent?
Fanatics?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. They're
Oh, right,
like,
right. They make
the
the-
uniforms.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's almost like
And I think they
obligated.
bought Tops. He buys Mitchell. He
Yeah.
buys everything, and then
They do all
you're-
WWE
it's
merch.
just one big fucking orgy with these guys together. It's wild.
That feels like they either got to be getting paid or contractually obligated to like make an appearance or something, right? That's got to be a
Does he pay him to go to the white party?
Well, that at least
don't
is
know.
like you're fun, you're drinking, you're like fucking, you're partying. To like sit on stage and be like, let me sign your autographs and like
They had Glenny Balls there. Glenny Balls is at Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, because they're like a Brady company. Those two.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I mean, they had you name it. If it's a name, it's there. I would have loved to be invited so I could just be like, fuck you. But I think he didn't happen. Durant spicy, obviously, on X, responds to everybody. I think his career is one of the great misses at this point of like all time. Like this guy, legitimately, I was one of them because I hated LeBron. I was like, he's the best player in the league. He's the best player of all time. But you know, you think he goes to Golden State, they win. Did not win in Oklahoma City, who just won. Oklahoma City just won. And people say Golden State, like he put him over the edge, but not really because they won without him and they won after without him, right? They won before him and they won after, I believe, right?
Yep. That's a huge knock against that.
Yeah, and then he goes, Brooklyn, horrible, destroys that team. Goes
with talent, by the way.
Yes.
He has.
I know. Yeah.
The Suns were like supposed to be a super team.
Correct. And he goes there after they're in finals and look like they could be a champion, destroys that team. This guy.
And it's not even like, it reminds me a little bit of Carmelo, like what they're not even close. It's not like losing in the conference finals or in the finals.
No, it's what I say about Kyrie. Like the team blows up. Like
Yeah.
they're dead. Like he goes to a team with talent that everybody's like NBA potential champion. And I think Brooklyn and Phoenix at one time were probably top 2 to 3 like odds to win the title, and these teams don't even make the playoffs.
Right, not even fucking close. This will be his 5th team, and the only one you win at, even come close to winning at, well, not close because the Thunder were close, but the only one you really win at is not your team. Like, decided not yours. No one will ever be like the Kevin Durant Warriors.
Yeah, I actually think he's the opposite. If you're like, oh, this guy is kind of like a team killer for whatever reason.
Right.
The Slim Reaper is the Slim Reaper for his own team.
He goes door by door, just ruining.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance we catch like Joe Yank stray or something from a Durant burner about this being like, well, you fucking guys are just bloggers. You don't know fucking shit. Ump show in the College World Series. I love a good ump. Like, to me, an ump fight, that's one of the lost arts in baseball. Like, it used to happen a lot more. I'll go back probably once a year and just watch like Earl Weaver or like what was your asses in the jackpot, the Mets guy. Like, those are the best. And this one's, it obviously don't have the audio, but the ump, you know how umps do this thing, which I find hilarious. Like, if you're trying to argue with the home plate ump, like the field ump will come flying in and like try to get in the way. I don't know why they do that. It's it's an unwritten ump rule. Like, if you're the guy who's getting argued with, someone else takes over the argument. So when you really think about why, like, you're trying to argue with that guy and they get him out of the arena basically and put in a different guy who has nothing to do with the argument. It's like, you talk to me. That's what happened to the Mets guy. You talk to me. You talk to me. And the guy who tries to run interference fell over. And it's just gold.
You know what it feels like, Robbie? It feels like WWF refs. When they're like,
it sort of is.
Oh, God, calm down. It's so performative.
Or even like Team Portnoy, I feel like when friggin' Avocado Ross comes in the office, it's like someone should be getting Tim before he gets to Dave. You know, like, don't let him get to the head ump. The way the guy falls over himself and like does the reverse somersault is so funny. He falls like a Charlie Chaplin, like silent film.
Unbelievable ump clip. I look for more stuff. I mean, I didn't think you guys wanted to get into Miga, so I don't have that on the list.
Miga's tough, man.
Dude, I'm still getting tagged in the pictures of you and me where you were waving the flag and stuff. I don't want to get into Miga.
Oh, welcome to my world. That's all my world is.
You made that world for yourself.
I made
it. I'll stand by my world. Well, no, I didn't. Kirk Minahan did, because there's a 2-second clip that's taken so far out of context, it's insane. But yeah, it's crazy.
I said if I just could real quick, I would love to slander Jon Jones.
You want to talk Jon Jones?
Cowardly running from Tom Aspinall. Finally, there's a heavyweight that is exciting people in the UFC. His name's Tom Aspinall. He's British. He's awesome. And everyone thinks this guy could be the best test Jon Jones has ever had. He's the interim champ. Jon Jones is the real champ. Everyone wanted them to fight last November. The UFC booked Jon Jones versus Stipe, which was weird because Stipe was older, 1 foot out the door. He was coming off a brutal knockout. Very strange. Jones beats Stipe, says, all right, maybe I will fight Tom Aspinall next. Strings Tom Aspinall along since November, and then out of the blue decides, you know what, I'm not fighting Tom Aspinall. Allegedly, he gave the UFC this $30 million demand, and they called his bluff. They said, here's $30 million. Let's do it. And he went back on his word and said, never mind. He is a duck. He is running from Tom Aspinall. The fact that he retired is shameful. He is the GOAT. I'm not taking that away from him. He's the MMA GOAT, but it's fucking shameful that he's the best we got, that our GOAT isn't the kind of guy to take that fight. And then 2 hours after he retires, of course, it comes out that maybe he was involved in another hit and run in Albuquerque. They're investigating it right now. There's a woman that was found at a scene. She was like half naked, claiming that she was on shrooms and Jon Jones was driving. Jon Jones is denying all involvement. Good riddance, Jon Jones. We don't want you in MMA anymore, but we wanted the one fight.
Two-part question. One, is it better in your mind for the legacy if he was involved in a hit and run? Because then maybe he's not ducking.
No, he's a duck already. I mean, the $30 million demand, if that's true, and I think it is true, that the UFC met this outlandish demand, and then he said, sure, and then went back on his word. That's so crazy.
At that point, just get in the ring and take a beating. Who fucking?
And last November, he said, Tom Aspinall doesn't excite me. It doesn't add anything to my legacy. I'll fight anyone else.
Wait,
What do you mean? You'll
How
fight
old is
anyone
it?
but the one guy everyone wants you to fight?
how old is Aspinall though?
Aspinall's younger than Jones in his early 30s. Jones is 37, but it's not like
It's not
Jones is like
crazy.
old ancient. It's like
Yeah.
he's never lost a fight. So
Right. I was just
we
thinking,
want our GOAT
like,
to be the kind of guy who's like, all right, I'll beat the guy from the next generation and then walk off to show you I am the fucking GOAT.
Or I'll knock the guy out in the club in Ibiza who's a couple layers
Whoa!
below me and then knock him out cold. Have we had an update on that incident that you informed me of the other day when Conor McGregor knocked a guy out in a club? I haven't heard much of
no
that.
update on. There's no update on that. But like I said to you, it's always the ones you least expect.
I'll say Connor does things and then they're just gone. Like
Yeah.
when you're in the fight
you
game,
think?
when you're in the fight game, you get away with stuff in other walks of society.
And people
Like,
get
Jon
on me
Jones.
for that too. They're like, "You're shitting on Jon Jones, but you're a Connor guy." It's like, I know, but like, listen, I haven't
I
said
think that's
a
a
word about
fair
Connor.
criticism.
I would
It is
say
a fair,
that's pretty fucking
it is
fair, Bob.
I know. Yeah, they come after me. Listen, I have not. I'm off the Connor train, and I have been since the rape trial in October. Like, you
Well, that's
can't
good.
continue at some point, But like, it's like people are acting like I'm still like, no, Connor's the best. It's like, no, listen, that was the shtick for a long time, and it worked for a long time. He's very nice for a long
you
time, but
were
like,
for a long time like Connor when he just his leg broke in half and he was like sitting in the corner just like I DM'd your wife like yelling like you were still talking shit when he was just a cripple.
I know, and like nobody was more like ride or die, and I feel like that's why still, when the bad trials happen, people will post me with the free Connor sign, and I'm like, oh, that's bad optics.
That one was for nothing, right? That was like,
That was for the dolly that slipped out of his hand. That's a whole yeah.
Yeah.
But Jon Jones is a duck, and he will forever have his legacy stained by this. There will never, ever be a conversation where Jon Jones' name comes up where people don't say, but what if he fought Tom Aspinall?
And Dana's promoting a boxing match now, right?
Yes, Canelo Crawford, which is going to be awesome.
Is that worrisome for the UFC?
I don't think so. It's because it's all like under the TKO umbrella now. Turkey, the guy from Saudi Arabia that's like financing all this boxing.
Yeah.
That's interesting though. That's like a partnership to watch because it doesn't quite seem like they're always on the same page. Turkey likes Dana to like hold his hand and walk out at events, them holding hands and stuff. and Turkey likes announcing things way before Dana's ready to announce them. So like, interesting relationship to keep your eye on there.
All right. Anything else that we miss here?
I don't think so.
No. All right. There it is. Rundown.